Joe Biden has had it up to here with the shrinkage. He needs a break. A few days ago, the elderly men with poor memory whose henchmen are deconstructing our nation put out a Super Bowl ad complaining about the inflation they caused. In the ad, Biden went after companies for so-called shrinkflation, when they keep the price the same but reduce the size. He accused companies of trying to pull a fast one and playing the American people for, quote, suckers. Now, Biden was serious because he did ask them to give him a break. He didn't name names, but several brands were visible in the ad, including Doritos, Gatorade, and Breyers ice cream. Of course, companies have been doing precisely that, reducing portion sizes, because customers cannot afford the products they could before this mentally challenged president unleashed the worst inflation in 50 years. To the point that groceries cost 25% more and household paper products, that's toilet paper for muggles, cost 35% more. Those are official numbers, of course. People posting their actual grocery bills online say the inflation is a lot worse, even with the shrinkage. Pile on rising green regulations that lay new costs on food producers, allegedly for global warming, and you've got a 1-2 punch driving up costs. Now, government scapegoating the things they break is nothing new, and usually they do go after companies who are less sympathetic in public opinion. In a pinch, they will go after consumers as well. A few months ago, I mentioned a wave of mainstream articles blaming the American people for inflation. One gem from Atlantic magazine was literally titled "Inflation is Your Fault," complaining that, quote, if people are so mad about high prices, why do they keep buying so many expensive things? So if you buy food when it's gone up, you are part of the problem. So is it true? Are America's grocers pulling a fast one? In fact, groceries are one of the lowest margin businesses in existence. The industry-wide margin is 2.2%, so they make 2.2 cents on the dollar. That means that when the federal government prints up $7 trillion of fresh dollars, courtesy of the Federal Reserve, and then dump those $7 trillion into the money supply, grocers are faced with two choices. They can either raise prices or they can reduce portions. Now, if American families were swimming in money, of course, they would just raise the price. But when, as now, 96% of Americans are worried about the economy, they can't afford those higher prices, and so shrinkflation it is. So what's next? Brought to you by Unchained.com. Ever since Biden's inflation took off, Washington has been champing at the bit to not only scapegoat that inflation, but to use it as an excuse to seize even more power over food. We are seeing kinetic pushback in Europe, which is already several years ahead on the green jihad. But even these schemers in Congress are busily trying to convert the scapegoat into fresh regulation. One recent report by Democrat Bob Casey was released to, quote, hold companies accountable for higher grocery prices, which in Washington means to seize control and command of the industry on behalf of activists and lobbyists. Elizabeth Warren has been on the warpath for years now, trying to do to food what she has already done for banking. Happily, the American people are not buying it. A fresh poll from ABC says almost 90% think Biden is not fit to serve. He will, of course, keep ranting. Congress will keep scheming. But hopefully we'll have new management before they break food to the point that we are down to the bugs. Okay, we'll be watching. See you next time.